So I think it's very important on when you're dealing with low performance, because I think it has ripple effect. Remember, you started by saying you have a goal as an organization, and for the goal to be achieved, each and every party, be it a cleaner, there's a part that they play. Be it is someone who is in any division within the organization, there's a part that they should play. So when you're now assessing that this part is not being played, it means it affects the whole cycle. So which means you need to see to like what you're saying, train, keep on training.
Yes.
Feedback is very important. Welcome to Brainmore Business Hub channel. Today in the studio, I'm joined by Star, the star of Brainmore. Star is our audit senior here, and welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me, Male.
Thank you very much. So I think as a way of deeper into the introduction relating to the subject matter that we're going to discuss here, Star, she's also involved in the performance management process setting for the companies that we service. So Star, just to start off and kick off the conversation, what role does performance management play in an organization, and what is it?
Okay, so performance management is a tool that allows the organization to set goals and then filter them to the employees for them to be able to then work on achieving the organization goals at the end of the day. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying it's a tool, it's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah, yes. Of the organization setting the organizational goal and filtering it down to that. So what role does it play?
It has various roles. So first of all, it allows the business to then know that this is what we want to achieve at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We've got, for instance, we want to achieve this revenue, we want to have this number of employees, we want to have this and that. So it allows the organization on the organizational level to be able to set goals. And then second of all, it allows the employees then to know what they need to work towards in order to achieve a common goal.
Yeah, the alignment around the critical goals that the organization would have set, and the expectation that the team that have to carry out that, to know what is it and how are we going to contribute to that goal.
So in order to align, so the alignment part of it between employees and the organizational goal.
Yeah.
So you will need to have some sort of meeting whereby you discuss as to, this is what I want you to do for the year, and then they have to they need to be able to see, or they also need to be able to agree that this is what I need to do, and it also needs to be doable. So at the end of the day, you need to fine tune whatever goals that you have into something that an employee can do. You can't just give me, I want you to bring 1 million from what?
Yeah.
It needs to be something that we need to speak. If I'm going to bring 1 million, what are you going to do as my boss in order to allow me to do that?
Okay.
So it's a discussion at the end of the day when we discuss the organizational goals, and then I discuss how I can be able to meet, and then we align and we work on that.
Okay. All right. No, I think that's good. So tell me, Star, what are the advantages of having a performance management process in an organization?
Okay, so it has a lot of advantages. I'm just gonna speak on about 5.
Okay.
So it allows for workforce planning. So at the beginning of, depending on how you measure your performance, for instance, if you measure it monthly or quarterly, it allows the employees to then know that for this quarter I'm planning on achieving this.
Yeah.
So it allows for the workforce to plan accordingly in order to meet the organization's goals.
Okay.
And then second of all, it's motivational, because
Yeah.
if I'm going to overachieve, I know that at the end of the year,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Cash there.
I'm going to cash in something. So it also boosts the employees' morale.
Yeah.
And then another thing is it allows the business, like I already spoke about it, the business goals and the employees' activities to align in order to achieve the goals. And then it also enhances efficiency. So throughout the process, when you are through regular reviews, you are able to tell that STAR is lacking in this.
Yeah.
What did you suggest from yourself? What do you think we need to do in order to get you to achieve? In order for you to perform. So as you review the performance of an employee, you are able to then show them and direct them in how they can improve on their efficiency, and that also allows you to minimize efficiency errors, because if you are not going to be able to sit and see that STAR is struggling in this at the beginning of the year, I'm going to carry all that through to 5 years. And you won't be able to tell already that I'm having an issue. So
and even losses.
Exactly, and also losses.
Because the salary would be paid whether you're performing or not.
Exactly.
There's no
there's no way to tell that I'm doing a good job or not. So that is also one of the things. And then another one is it promotes job satisfaction.
Okay.
So when I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, at the end of the month, when I've seen that I've done all of that, I'm satisfied that, you know what, I'm actually giving friend more what I'm supposed to give them. So
even more.
And even more.
Okay. Okay, I think you have highlighted a number of things to say, especially the most important one is, so sometimes, is maybe bigger organizations, the strategies or big corporates, the strategies happen on a high level. So they will say we want to achieve this, but now if you don't have performance management process, no one will know what they are expected to. So it's very difficult to the employees as well to be expected, but not knowing exactly what you are expected to do. So which is ironed out in the performance management process there. Do you want to talk a little bit around that, to say how that ironing out will happen? By I'm thinking the KPIs and the process of how do you then match the goals to what STAR need to do or what the employee need to do.
Okay, I think one of the things that we do for our clients at Brandmore is we ask an employee, what do you think your manager wants you to do? And then the manager writes down, what do you think STAR needs to do? And through there, we're able to see the discrepancies between what the manager sees and what an employee sees. And we're able to then sit and marry the goals and come up to one scorecard. And then you build a performance, and then you can build a performance contract and also a scorecard that the employee will be filling in at the end of whatever performance period. Yes.
So which you just highlighted, that it's not performance management is not a process that is only for the leader. It's an organizational conversation, that at least there's an alignment. Everyone is aligned, and everyone knows that this is what the organization is expecting me to do, and this is what I'm expected of to do within the organization. So there's no hide and seek around performance management, basically.
No.
There's no hide and seek. So there are some number of misconceptions around performance management. Can you tell us what are the misconceptions around performance management?
So the number one is that employers rather. The employees assume that the employer doesn't want to give us a bonus, so they want to use the system to rate us every month, so that at the end of the day they don't give us a bonus. The other misconception is that employees think that it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Why are we spending time in this process? So
So it's like, why are we even doing?
Why are we even
I think
doing
you
it?
actually felt that as well at some point when you got to Brentford. Say, our processes is every month. Is it also? Did that misconception happen to you individually? I know you work on clients, but did you also feel that from an individual perspective?
To a very small extent, I did feel. I think I didn't understand. I started by the reviewing people's KPIs.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's a very small misconception from my side.
Yeah.
And then I ended up diving into my own. So by the time I got into doing my own, I was already in line.
Yeah.
So the not understanding was at the start where I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so why are we reviewing these guys every month?
Yeah.
Until I got into the understanding that this is going to help the employee to see that actually you are aligning, you are checking your billing every month. Am I actually billing the correct? Am I working on this number of clients? Are they bringing in this much value? So you can see how the value of your work every month. Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of the misconception as well that I can think of from leaders' perspective is to say, it's just one of those things. Is it gonna work? But actually, it's something that is a culture that you need to implement in an organization. To say it's as good as you are as a leader. So if you don't put in much effort into it, you're not gonna cultivate the culture, and it means that you need to be there for things to happen because there is no accountability. So for me, I think it's a process that resonates with what we live for, is accountability. You know, at Bremo. So it's a way of accounting to what you're doing. You don't need the manager to be there for you to perform. You don't need someone to be there for you to perform. So which is why even when I'm thinking about it now, the companies that when COVID hit, the companies that don't have performance management process, they'll struggle. Because every time you are like, what is that person doing? And you don't know whether they're aligned or not aligned. So which is a misconception from leaders' perspective to say, is it gonna work, or is it something that is really necessary? But it's actually culture building, the culture of building accountability within your organization. So Star, how do you motivate the employees to the process? Let's say to our clients or to the viewers that are viewing or even listening to this conversation, they don't have it. And you know, when you're starting it, it can have those misconceptions. It's a waste of time that you spoke about. And is it going to work from the leader's perspective? And all those kind of negative that comes in when people think performance management, or they just want to catch us because they don't want to give. How do you keep people motivated into the process?
So we do monthly checks for the people that are overseas. So sometime mid-month, I will check on your KPIs and see how you are moving along. And if you need assistance, then I will be able to give you assistance in mid-month so that we don't get surprised at the end of the month.
Yeah.
When we see that, only to find out at the end of the month that there was something that you were lacking during the month.
Yeah. So you're thinking from the employee's perspective, they know that my leader have my back because they are checking on me and assisting me to achieve the goal that we would have set up. So obviously from your employee's perspective, they are motivated because they know that it's not a check for finding fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's how I keep them motivated. They know that even myself, I'm also involved in the process. I'm also affected by their performance.
Yes.
It's everyone's.
Yeah.
It's everyone's business.
It's everyone's business. Yeah. And also, how else do people get motivated by performance management?
So another thing is once in a while we speak about the advantages when we start the performance meeting.
Yeah.
Just to get an understanding from the employee, what do you think this process is? And so we get an overview, and if there's rectification, if we can rectify their thought process, then we do it through that process. Yeah. And so that we align at the end of the day.
Yeah. And also even to know the what do you call that? To say if you are overperforming, it means
there's a
reward.
I didn't want to speak about the bonus,
yeah.
but yeah, so we remind them that, you know what, if you keep going up and up, just know that at the end of the year,
yes,
there's something that's there's a reward.
Whether
it's
not
a
guaranteed
certificate,
or
it's not
what,
guaranteed, but something
but
is
it's
gonna,
yes, obviously,
yes.
because obviously it's also a process of looking at how do you, because imagine like you have, let's say you have 5 accountants, and you can't really say all of them they are at the same level. Well, some are putting 120 and 150 into the process.
2 people are never the same. So you can't, the performance process allows you to be able to tell where star is, where is the next person.
And how do you remunerate?
Yes.
Also, so it's also a tool that can help you if you're actually struggling to say, hey, how do I pay my people? Look at what are you aligned in the goals to our viewers? Are you aligned with the goals? Are the team aligned with the goals that you are bringing on the table? And who's more aligned?
Yes.
Obviously, the business is there to make money. So the person that is more aligned, also reward them. The others that are not yet aligned, put in training and processes so that at least they get their goals get aligned to the organization as well.
Yes.
Star, you spoke about the process. In the process, we were talking about continuously feedback depending on your cycle of performance, how you do your performance, if it's quarterly, monthly, half yearly, or whatever it is. So within the process, you're going to identify the star performers.
Yes, of course.
Then you're also going to identify low performers. So we to be modest, people who are not really performing up to expectation, because obviously maybe there's a room for them to perform up to improve. So how do you deal with that?
So in the performance, we allow for them to write what they think they need in order for them to grow and perform at the expected level. So that's when even the manager can also suggest that, you know what, I think for you, you need this type of training, or I'm going to train you, or you can watch some videos from XY in order to allow you to be able to grow to this level. And then another one is so that in that way we also draw up a development plan whereby we strategize and put together a plan which is going to state, this is what I'm going to study, and I want to achieve it by this date. So it needs to be dated. I'm going to do this, and it's going to be done by this date. So after that, then you as the manager, you come back and say, okay, you've done the training, and you also assess whether Star is now performing better than before. If not, then you will have to see what else can I do from there. And if someone is consistently in the lower end where they consistently need improvement, and you've tried all the planning, the development plan is not working, I think that's the part where you then need to they shouldn't be in the position that they are at, because you can't consistently need improvement. So as a leader, you decide at this point, I think you can't be consistently needing improvement for the whole year. What did you do in order to avoid that? Or you can move them to a lower role if you want, but whatever decision you decide.
So I think it's very important on when you're dealing with low performance, because I think it has ripple effect. Remember, you started by saying you have a goal as an organization, and for the goal to be achieved, each and every part, be it a cleaner, there's a part that they play, be it is someone who is in any division within the organization, there's a part that they should play. So when you're now assessing that this part is not being played, it means it affects the whole cycle. So which means you need to see to like what you're saying, train, keep on training. Feedback is very important. And also you now need to look at, okay, is this person have capacity? Like what you are saying, maybe they shouldn't be on that role, which is a effect that you need to face in maybe as leaders. It's a fact that you need to face. They are incapacitated to do what you are expecting to do. Maybe not incapacitated in the whole of their life, but to do what you are expecting them to do. If there is another role, another position, take them there. If not, part ways.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
which
true.
is a hard decision, which means we need to go to the HR and say, hey, we think this is this and this. I think that's how. But the good part of this is it's not you're not gonna wake up to that decision because it's a process.
Yes.
Like
yes,
what
yes.
we are saying, it's a process that we would have been doing according to giving feedback, which is very, very important. I think to wrap up, Star, in conclusion, key things. We let's say we have viewers that don't have the performance management at all. What is your key advice?
My key advice is that get it as soon as possible. This will allow you to align to allow you to set your goals first, and then it will allow you to then filter that through to your employees.
Yeah.
And they will be able to achieve your goals for you, for the organization.
Yeah. So in other words, we are saying you are missing out. Because remember, when you are setting the goals, you are actually trying to say, we can do this. We can reach here. You can stretch yourself. The organization can stretch themselves as well. And it gives you are missing out on the beauty that will come through the whole team realizing that we have met the goal as an organization. So in other words, you are saying you are missing out if you don't have and grab that opportunity as a planning tool as an organization to start implementing that to the organization. And to those that have and maybe they are not yet even implementing it consistently, what advice do you have?
Just go back to the drawing board and restart the whole process. So start with defining your goals and then align with your team and do the performance reviews regularly. Yeah, I actually think that to those that have it and not implementing it, it's as good as if you don't have it. Yeah, you don't have it. So why do you have it? Well, so you just need to make sure that you have put it in place and implement it. Because you see, one thing that I've seen is planning is better. It's easy. Planning is more easy than implementing it. Yes. So implementing it, that's when you see the results. What are the results that are going to come out of this process? But if you are not seeing the results, which means you are not implementing it, or you are not implementing it effectively, which is also the disadvantage of having to sabotage yourself, because there's a lot of benefits that you spoke about there. So I think, thank you very much, Star, to our viewers. Thank you very much for watching this conversation and listening to this conversation. And we believe that you have found value in the performance management process. And should you need help to set that up, get hold of us. And we are going to sit with you, help you throughout the whole process, so that at least your organization stand out. Because we have figured out that when we are doing the review of for the financials and of the organization's growth, that's the missing link in many organizations. The executives are the only people that knows what needs to be done, but the rest of the team doesn't know, which is something that you need to